Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics. Sorry for the delay. I had some family that was texting me, so I wanted to make sure I got them before I got you. So I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Thanksgiving, whether you're in a country that celebrates it or not. Hopefully it's a day regardless of just giving thanks. I know this world has been a little bit on the interesting side these days, but there's always still something to be thankful for. Just family, friends, life in general. So hopefully, no matter what you're doing today, you enjoy the day. And hopefully some of you in areas where there is 10 family rules, hopefully you all become rebels and not listen to authority that tends to do the opposite of what they preach, and you spend time with your loved ones safely. And to me, that is important. So I want to do a Thanksgiving Day special for you guys. I have 5 books that you can easily get for absolutely under 100. Some of them you can easily get under 50. And these are definitely books you might even find in the dollar bin. I don't believe I've shown any of these. And they are definitely books you can easily add to your collection. Always keep in mind when it comes to speculative books, there are no guarantees. Anything can change. You can actually lose money if you don't invest properly. So one of the things I always highly recommend is if you're looking for comics for speculation and investments, make sure you do your own research. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Don't just buy the first comic you see. Wait and ask for deals. And trust your own instincts. If you see a book and you don't think that one's going to work for you, pass on it. You know, sometimes we're going to miss opportunities and regret it, but you do what you can. But I know these days, trust me when I understand, buying more expensive books can be a little bit more challenging these days, so these books could easily be acquired. Now, I want to mention to people, sign up for that cashback program if you haven't already done so. It is free to do. The link is in the description. It's in the live chat, and I posted it to the comments section. If you click on the link that I provide, you sign up, and for the first-time users, if you spend $40 or more within the first 90 days of signing up, you get a $40 cashback bonus, which you can get either via PayPal or they can send you a check. Just make sure it is something that qualifies, so check for restrictions. So with that out of the way, let me put on the video camera. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to see the comics. Now, none of these are going to be Amazing Fantasy 15s, but none of these are going to cost the price of an Amazing Fantasy 15. So these are books that should be easily acquired. Some of them people may not think about. And Laro Lopez just did an amazing super chat. Thank you for that. He did a $50 super chat. I think that's actually the highest I've ever gotten. That was... Laro, that was very nice of you. Thank you very much. And he says, Happy Thanksgiving, Chris, and to your excellent community. Same to you. That was really unexpected and definitely a very nice surprise. So thank you for that. And guys, please make sure, if you are in the live chat, participate in the conversation. Even if you're watching this right now live and you've never been in the live chat before, because I always pick a surprise subscriber shout-out. That means the person that is picked for the surprise subscriber shout-out, if you get the shout-out and you have a YouTube channel, you are allowed to post the link to your channel or to a video, whichever you prefer, and I will approve it first, make sure it's something that's appropriate. It doesn't have to be comic-related. It can't be something like, you know, something that harms people or animals or, you know, is porn or anything like that. And if you see the link when you check out the comment section, please go give them a check. Check their video out, maybe subscribe to their channel. And another bonus is, if you are one of my moderators, and you could see Agmir is here, Florence is here, Connie is here. They are moderators. You could see them in blue with the little wrench to the side. Any moderator that has a YouTube channel, every time they are participating in the live chat moderating, they can post the link to their channels or their video as well. They can do it multiple times. And to become a moderator, all you have to do is comment on my videos to the point where I recognize your name, and I will upgrade you to a moderator so you can get those bonuses. You don't have to be a subscriber to do it, and you don't have to agree with everything I say. All you have to do is just be civil, even if you disagree. So with that out of the way, let us show you the 5 comics that you can easily get under $100 and definitely under $50. All right, So the first up, this is involving a character that will be in either a TV show or a movie. It's probably going to be both at one point. I really think this character, like they are doing, should start out as a TV show to get people to know who he is. But I really think he's not going to stay a TV show unless the show bombs. So I would expect to see him in the MCU within 5 years or less, in my opinion, provided the TV show does well. If the TV show bombs, you probably never see him again. But I think they're going to put a lot of care into this character. Now, this is not his first appearance or his first book as far as solo. But this is a book that you can get very cheap, and I think people may overlook. I got this the day it came out, so I spent the grand total of $1.50 on this book. This is Moon Knight #1. This is the book, came out, I believe, in 88 or 89, somewhere in that area. But this is the #1 issue. It's not his first appearance. It's not his first solo. But it is definitely a book that you could get very cheap. I mean, you could get a CGC 9.8 for this book, probably for under $100. Now, it's not going to be a $10,000 book, even with the TV show, and if he ends up in the movies and they end up a success. But I believe, when it comes to books, first appearance is always going to be the most desirable. Then maybe Origin or their first solo series, or remember he also had his first mini-series. So there's a lot of different issues, but as those get more expensive, people are going to gravitate to the the less expensive books. And I think this could be one of them. So this is definitely one that may be overlooked. You could probably find in the dollar bin if you look hard enough, provided you have stores that allow you to go into them. But you could get this relatively cheap. And I think if the TV show is a success, books like this will increase in value. So if you bought it for $5, $10, and it becomes a $40, $50 book, of course, depending on grade, if it's a 0.5, you're not getting anything for this book. But higher grades of this book are going to be very desirable. I would not get lower than a 9.2 in this book. Anything under a 9.2 or pushing it a 9.0 is not going to be very desirable for this book. So you would need a higher grade. This is probably a 9.4 to a 9.6 because it does have a tiny little dent. Well, not even a dent, but a little piece missing in the corner. That could still potentially get a 9.8, but I think it would be realistically 9.4 to 9.6. But I paid $1.50 for it, so it doesn't matter to me, and it's probably a book I wouldn't get graded. Now, this is one that's been catching fire lately. It's a book I was telling people to get years ago. There is a variant, but that one's going to be a lot more expensive. I'm still doing, if you look on my web store and you go into my link in the description to check it out, I have mystery bags, and I also have mystery boxes. I've included a lot of these, and they've risen in value, so a lot of the books that I will send you are key books or potential key books. There were some that I gave the Ultimate Fallout 4 first print, and some people may not have been happy at the time they got it, but they're pretty happy now because I knew the potential. So this book still has potential. This is Darth Vader #3. This is the first appearance of Dr. Aphra right there, and these two death droids. Now there is a 1 in 25 variant. I was lucky enough to get 2 of those, and they graded a CGC 9.8. I bought those raw and had them graded back in the days, but that's going to be a very expensive book. A 9.8 of this is going to be way over 100, but so I'm talking raw. If you can find this book, you can easily get it for under $50 raw. Now again, because this is a newer book, you really don't want anything less than a 9.4 because it won't be as desirable. But there are rumors that this character may appear in The Mandalorian. If it's been confirmed, please do not spoil it at this point. But even not, this has become a very popular character in the Star Wars universe. So definitely a book to own and one I would recommend. Another book that most people may overlook because it's not his first appearance. Definitely a book to acquire. This is Deadpool #1. This is his first series. And a book I would highly recommend to get. And again, he is going to have, they've already confirmed Deadpool 3, and they're saying he's got a lot of movies in store. So this is definitely a character that you want to take the chance on. Now, of course, the #1 book is going to be his first appearance, New Mutants 98, but again, that's going to become a very expensive book. So this is definitely a book to consider because it, again, may be something that is overlooked because this is his first self-titled series. It's also the first appearance of a character called Slayback, but, I mean, unless they use that character, that's not really going to be the significance. But this, again, is a cheaper alternative to his first appearance. So this is back when Deadpool was a lot more serious and they didn't really define him for how he is today. But this is definitely a book worth getting. And again, all of these books I'm showing you really want to get in higher grades. This one's going to be a little bit harder because you could see it's very black and it's got a kind of a cardboardish, like a cardstock kind of cover. So any bend will absolutely show any ticks. So there's a little bit that lost on the bottom. You could probably barely see it. But again, you want a lower grade. But this could be easily bought for under $50. And again, I'm talking ungraded. All right, this is another book that was hot for a while. It cooled down, and it's starting to pick up steam again. This is why I tell people, do not be discouraged when you buy a book and it ends up going down in value, because like the stock market and any kind of investment, things can go up and down. So that's why I say when it comes to investments, if you cannot think long term and you cannot relax and just enjoy the wave, you should not be investing, because it's not for the faint of heart. And a lot of people, when they see a price of something go down, they panic sell. Always remember in investments, buy low and sell high. Because especially in the comic book world, there could be books that could literally be sitting on the shelves in the dollar bins for decades, being worth nothing, and then all of a sudden the book becomes popular. So don't give up on a book, and this is one of them. This is Legends #3, the first appearance of the new Suicide Squad. Now, I'm not sure if this is the one because I have a couple of copies, but this was one of the first comics I ever bought as a kid. I remember buying this at 7-Eleven. Now, again, I don't know if this one is the one. And Main Smash Gaming just did a super chat. He just did a $5 super chat. So thank you for that. That was very nice of you. I always appreciate you guys being so kind. He says, Happy Thanksgiving, comic comrades. So yes, to all the comic comrades out there, Happy Thanksgiving. And that was, again, really nice of you. Suicide Squad 2 is coming, and people are really having some good hype about this, which means this book is starting to see some speculation again. So the idea is, before you start seeing any trailers or anything, now is the best time to be re-picking up this book if you sold it or you did not get it. But learn from the first time. This might be a book that, if the second movie is just as bad, might go down. So you may want to think about what you're paying for it and how long you think you might want to hold on to it. Now, obviously, if you're buying it because you want to read it, then it doesn't matter. You know, but if you're buying it to read it, you should have bought it a long time ago when it was a lot less expensive. Unless you're like 8 or 9 years old now, then that's kind of hard to do at that point. But this is definitely a book worth getting. And because the price went down, you can get this book, again, for under $100. At one point, that was not possible. But my opinion is, get it while you can. And again, you want higher grade. Now, since this came out in 1987, I was 16 years old when I got this. This is definitely a book that you want to get in higher grade, but I'd say you could get away with a 9.0 or higher. All right. So, last but not least, I have several of this book. I bought them all the day they came out. This shows that a lot of books from the Copper Age are really starting to show their value. Now, you're going to see a lot of damage. It's not on the book. It's actually on the bag and board. But I have several copies of this book, and it's definitely the one that I highly recommend. You may or may not know about the rumors about this one, but get this book if you can. And that is Ghost Rider #1. This is from the 80s, so this is not as... Well, there is a major first appearance in here, because the rumors are when Ghost Rider comes into the MCU, they're not going to be using Johnny Blaze, because they kind of want to separate from, you know, the whole back in the early days of Marvel with Nicolas Cage. They're not going to use, I forget his first name, but Rodriguez, because they already used him in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The rumors are they're using Danny Ketch. Now, this is Danny Ketch's first appearance. So this book, for decades, would have been in the dollar bin, and nobody would have cared about it. I probably have 4 or 5 copies, maybe 3 to 4. I don't really remember because they're scattered all over the place. But I bought these the day they came out. I've been sitting on them since that day, back in the 80s, and now this book is starting to show some steam. Now, you could still get this book for under $100. Keep in mind, the rumor about Danny Ketch is a rumor, which means if the rumor ends up being false, this book will probably drop. If the rumor ends up being true and it's confirmed, you know what's going to happen to this book. It's going to shoot up. So this one has some risk involved. They always do. But this is definitely a book worth getting. Now, Varangian Vigilante, and I'm sure I totally butchered that, had us a very good question, and I want to confirm this. He says, isn't Marvel Age 87 the first Danny Ketch? Any Marvel Age book is not considered canon. Like, for example, Spawn #1 is the first appearance of Spawn, but there are books that predate that because they are previews, they're not counted. So, yes, Marvel Age 87 is before this book, but because it's a preview and not an actual comic book, it is not considered cameo. It's not considered his first appearance. It's the first time you've ever seen him, but it's not considered his first appearance based on that fact. So that is a very good question, and a lot of people don't think about that. Now, that doesn't mean that book is not collectible, but it is not considered a first appearance. So this is his first comic book appearance in a actual story. So if you can get the other one and get it cheap, it's definitely worth getting, because, I mean, you could sell this and that book as a pair, and it could become more desirable. But keep in mind, this is his first appearance in comic book form. So it's like, for example, let me show you. And luckily I have it right here. This book right here, which is Comic Scene number 31, is an early, if not first ever, showing of Harley Quinn, because they do a preview of a Batman Adventures 12. The most desirable Harley Quinn book is not this book, even though it predates Batman Adventures 12. Batman's Adventure 12 is the first appearance. So, is this book worth getting? Obviously, because I have it, and it does predate the book, but because it's a preview, it's not an actual story, so it's never considered their first appearance. So this is definitely books worth getting, and the same thing with what he mentioned about the Marvel Age book, but this book is his true first appearance. So it shows all the time, like I've been telling people for years, be patient, make sure you know what you're collecting, don't give up on comics even if they end up going down, because you never know what will happen again in the future. So books like this have gone down, but now they're on their way back up again. So how many people, when the price was going down, probably sold it for less than what they paid for it, and now, years later, are seeing the price going up even higher than what they had to sell it for? So you have to hold on to things. Remember, this is not milk. It does not expire. I mean, obviously, after a couple of 100 years, you know, the paper's going to fade away, but we're all not going to be alive at that point to worry about that. They can get damaged and things, but naturally, these are going to be around for a while. You know, milk will go bad after about 2 weeks or so. This will not, unless you really are horrible at storing your comics and you decide to store them in your fireplace. Not something I would recommend. But these are books, like I said, I bought this book, and again, I'm not sure if it's this individual one, I do have others, but I bought these the day they came out. These came out in the 80s. This one came out, I think, 91, 92, somewhere around there. So I've had them since that time. This one I bought on eBay. This one I bought on eBay. And this book, again, I bought the day it came out. So sometimes you have to wait decades, which means if you cannot be patient, if you're not willing to do the research, if you're too quick to give up on stuff because everybody else is saying, oh, you got to sell, 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 and you do what everybody else does, well, it's like a sheep herder herding sheep. You know, if they can lead one to slaughter, they're going to lead all the others who follow. So don't be a follower, be a leader, and trust in your instincts, and don't just panic. I see that all the time. You know, I could have easily sold these probably 5 years ago for maybe $3, $4, maybe $5. How much would I be kicking myself now when I learned this could be $100, $200, $400 book? So, I mean, what you do with your stuff is up to you, but, you know, there's a lot of comic book channels out there that, you know, they want you to climb the board of the, you know, the comic book train, where you follow what they do and what everybody else does. If you're unable or unwilling to do your own research, you really shouldn't be investing your money. Now, obviously, if you're buying them just to read them, or you like the artwork, or it brings back some nostalgia and some memories of your youth, that's a different story. But if you notice, this video will get a lot more clicks than some of my other videos where I just show some, you know, unboxings or something, because there are plenty of people, whether they admit it or not, are really heavily invested in comics, and they care about speculation. So make sure you hitch your horse to the right wagon. You know, I've told people all the time, hold on to your books. Don't sell them if they start going down, because they can go back. Make sure you know what you're talking about. Do your research. Put in the effort. If you're not willing to do those things, you're going to fail more times than you're going to succeed. But remember, if you have a pair of dice, if you roll them, eventually the numbers that you predict will come up. But I guarantee you, if you were just rolling the dice hoping to get... If you had 2 dice and you were hoping to roll a 6, for every 1 time the 6 comes up, it'll probably be 20 times it doesn't. So if you're losing more than you're winning, and you're basing it on advice that you're getting from other people, then obviously that's not good advice for you. I'm not saying their advice is bad, but if it's not good for you, then it doesn't matter if the advice is good for everybody else. So do your research. Hold on to books. Don't get discouraged. Don't panic sell like so many people do, because, again, those are people who do not take the time and effort to know about what it takes to be a good investor and speculator. Now, if you've seen over the years, I don't get every book right. There are books I've lost money on, but you only lose money if you sell them. But there are many, many books that I've recommended over the years that people laughed at and people said I was crazy or I was lying or I was making it up, that ended up, now I've made 10, 20, 50 times what I paid for it. You know, back in 2016 when I was telling people to get Edge of Spider-Verse 2 and Ultimate Fallout 4s, people thought I was crazy. And over the years I told them this is where they're going to go, because I know how Hollywood works, especially these days. And many people didn't believe me, and many people laughed, or many people said I have plenty of time. Now, good luck trying to get either of those books for under $150, $200, $300, $400. So the idea is sometimes you have to sit on them for years. But, like I said, they're not milk. They do not expire. So whether you have them in your comic book boxes or you get them years later, you still had to wait. The only difference is, if you had them in your box years ago, you probably spent $10 or less. If you're buying them now, when they're hot, you're probably spending 20 times that amount. So be smart. So those are the 5 books. Let me show them again, just in case you're just tuning in. Ghost Rider #1. This is, I think, 1991 or 1992 series. First appearance of Danny Ketch, rumored to be the next Ghost Rider in the MCU. Again, rumor, not confirmed. And even if it is, doesn't guarantee it's going to be a success. So remember, you have to have a strong stomach to invest properly. Next up, Legends #3. This is the first appearance of the new Suicide Squad. With Suicide Squad 2 eventually on the way, that book has been picking up steam a little bit. Since you're not seeing any trailers or anything, you're not going to get a major buzz right now. Most people are going to buy it when that happens. So you want to be one of those people that takes the chance to get it beforehand. And people always ask me a question, and this will be for every comic or any investment out there. I always get people saying, all right, I'm thinking about getting this book. Is it worth it? It always boils down to price. If you buy a book for $1 and it's worth 10, then that dollar book is worth it. If you buy a $1,000 book for $1,200, I don't care what key issue it is, that's not a smart investment. So it always boils down to price. So if you're asking the question, is this book worth the price that I'm paying for it? What that tells me is you're not doing your own research, because you should be looking that up. If you're asking other people's opinion, that means you're not willing to trust your own instincts, and you're going to put the blame or the glory on someone else. Don't do that when it comes to your money that you're investing in, because it's not like somebody is lying. They could just be wrong, or it just doesn't work out. Take responsibility for what you choose not only to do, but what you choose not to do. So with that being said, the last books that I showed, Darth Vader #3, again, there is a 1 in 25 variant, but that's definitely going to be a lot harder to get under $100, especially under $50. If you can get it, grab it. Deadpool #1, this is, says a victim of Tolliver's will, a survivor of Weapon X. This is Deadpool, The Circle Chase. This is not his first appearance, but definitely a book that may be overlooked. And then last but not least, Moon Knight #1. This is from the late 80s, early 90s. Again, one that might be overlooked. All right, so we're going to do today's surprise subscriber shout-out. You do have to be in the live show, in the chat, to be able to qualify. Don't forget to sign up for the cashback program, because remember, guys, $40 these days, doesn't cost you anything other than what you're buying. It doesn't have to be comic books. It could be any of their affiliated programs. You get $40 cash back if you do it for the first time by clicking on that link. If you spend the $40 within the first 90 days, I also get a one-time fee, so that helps me during my time of need as well. And it's a win-win for everybody. So today's surprise subscriber shout-out, it's going to go to Paul Hurst. You are going to be today's surprise subscriber shout-out. So, Paul, if you do have a YouTube channel, you can post the link in the not in the description, but in the comment section. I will approve it. And if you all see his link, either a video or a channel, go subscribe, go check them out. It's a good way to help the community. And also, don't forget, any of my moderators that are in the live chat, if you have YouTube channels, you can promote your channel or your video every time you're in the live chat. So there are several of you, and I thank you. I want to thank everybody here that was in the comment section. I always appreciate it. I want to definitely thank those two kind individuals that did the super chats, Laro and Main Smash Gaming. That was very kind of you. I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving, whether you celebrate it or not. Spend some time with family. Just be appreciative to what you do have, not what you don't have. I know things have been crazy. Trust me, I know. But there's always lemonade out of a lemon if you choose to make it. So thank you very much to everybody participating. Please be safe. Do not drink and drive. Give your family a hug. And do not forget, it is not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Let me know in the comments section what you thought of these books. Let me know if you have any of them, what kind of deals you've gotten. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Much love to you all. Alright, we're going to do a quick little Easter egg, even though this is not Easter, this is Thanksgiving. For those of you who stick around and watch entire videos, which means you are my power viewers or ultra power viewers, every now and then I like to do a little Easter egg part of the video where I do an extra unboxing or another suggestion of a book. It's my way of saying thank you for those who will watch entire videos. So if you are a power viewer, it means you watch videos from beginning to end. If you are an Ultra Power viewer, that means every time you click on one of my videos, you watch the whole thing. And obviously, there's no way to check, nor would I. So it's based on nothing other than my gratitude and your honesty. So I got a book here I would definitely recommend getting. Not sure if you know about this book, but you will in a second. Now, this is a book I don't know how many other channels have actually talked about, but this is a book that, in my opinion, if all goes well, this could become a very hot comic book. So they taped this pretty solid, so it's going to take a second because I don't want to bend it, so bear with me. So this is a little bonus for those who stuck around, and I want to thank the 43 people who liked this video. I always appreciate those who take the time to hit the like button because it does help my channel. So to those that are kind enough to do that, thank you so much. Even if you didn't, as long as you got information that helped you in this video, that's all I care about. But this is definitely a book I would recommend getting, and it's not expensive, but if things go well with it, I think this book could go up and be something that could become a very expensive book, potentially. But like I always say, there are no guarantees. So let me remove this tape so it's being untaped before a live audience. Jokes are not going to get any better than that, so I apologize. But this is why it pays to stick around. Like I said, I don't do this every video because then people expect it. But I thought today's Thanksgiving, so why not? So here is a book I would highly recommend adding to your collection. This is from Dark Horse. This is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, if you know anything about the gaming community, this is based on a new video game with the same title called Cyberpunk 2077. It is based on a character starring Keanu Reeves. From what I understand, this is a pretty big deal video game. It's on its way to release. It has not been released yet. This is definitely one that I would recommend getting. I paid $11.49 for this book. Who knows what's going to happen with this? This is one of 4, so it's a limited series. If it goes well, you could pretty much be guaranteed there will be other books. But as of now, this is the first appearance and a book worth getting. Now, I'm not sure if there are other variants of this book. I don't believe so, but correct me if I'm wrong. But I think this could be a sleeper pick, because if that becomes very popular, who knows? With Keanu Reeves attached to it, who knows if they end up doing a movie based on it at some point. And if that happens, this book will definitely skyrocket. So it's another book. It's a bonus book that you can easily, as of now, get for under $50. Worth getting, in my opinion. If you could spend under 20, grab it. You can get it for under 10, get multiple copies. But this, to me, I think is a sleeper pick. Absolutely worth getting. So, you actually, if you stuck around, you got 6 comics to go get. So, spend your money wisely. Sign up for that cashback program, because if you get one of these for $40, you can basically get it for free when you get your money back from the cashback program. So there's the link in the live chats in the description, pinned to the comments section. So thank you for sticking around for the little bonus. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. And to the 45 people kind enough to hit the like button, thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And don't forget to have your friends spayed or neutered. Thanks a lot, everybody. Be safe. Alright, surprise! Last one, I'm going to do another unboxing. This will definitely separate the power viewers from the ultra power viewers. I see a bunch of people left, and that's okay. I've never done a dual Easter egg part of the video, so still got 34 people that are watching. So I'm going to do one more unboxing of some comic books. Because like I said, I want to change things around, so it's not always the same situation. So this is the first time I've ever done 2 extensions in one video. Alright, so let me take a look at these. Ooh, I think one of these might get graded at some point. Alright, so here we go. This is special I bought from the Tyler Kirkham store. This is Batman Who Laughs, #1. Signed, where's the signature? Oh, signed and sketch. Regular. Oh, this is the cover A, the limited trade. Also, signed and sketch with original artwork. So it's got his signature with a certificate of authenticity. I bought it from his web store. With an original sketch. So this is cover A, the limited trade, because you can see it's got the DC. And then this one is the Virgin. It's got his signature and an original sketch. So I bought these. They came out to $97.50 each. So a little bit under $200. Which, by the way, if you look in the description of this in any video, I have a link to their store with a $5 coupon. So if you look at the description of my video, there's a couple of different things that I offer where there's discount codes that I don't even talk about. One of them is if you go on his website, there's a coupon code for $5 off any purchase. And it could be used anytime. So those are the 2 books. Absolutely looks beautiful. Especially the Batman Who Laughs sketch. So those are original sketches. And there's a different one here. He puts Batman. But he's also got them both signed. So both signed and sketched with original art for $97.50 each. So very happy with these books. I definitely think I will be getting the Virgin variant graded at some point. Or I might do both. We'll have to see. This could definitely be 9.8, maybe even 9.9s, or possibly 10s, because it's got that cardstock cover. So these look pretty darn good. So we'll see what happens, but definitely an extra bonus for you guys as a thank you. So yeah, that will be the last one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a happy Thanksgiving. If you watch from beginning to end, don't be shy. Post it in the comment section. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is We Love Comics. Thank you to the 50 people that hit the like button. Thank you to all that participated in the live chat. And definitely thank you to the ones who stuck around for yet a second time. Hasta la vista, baby.